So in the previous video we were learning how to create a comic cover, but we are still missing the process on the colors. So today I'm going to try to show you a little bit more in depth about the process that I have when it comes to coloring comics. When it comes to coloring comics covers, I try to have a very structured way onto how to color everything. And I found out this is the best way, at least for me, to color my comics. When it comes to color flatting, I always try to choose colors that are not too bright or too dark. They will usually be in between the ranges of 25 or 80% of brightness. And as for the saturation, I try to keep it max 80%. Not often I will end up going above that number. For example, if having a character with dark clothes, I won't be really going all the way to 0% of brightness. I will usually go around 20% to 25%. We want to keep it somewhat bright because we will later add the shadows with other layers. A cool tool that I found in Clip Studio for color flatting is this one, the Close and Fill tool without gaps. It will help you to create color flats much faster without worrying much about going outside of the lines, but the only downside of this is that you might need to create new layers below, otherwise it will affect the colors you already have. But this is a tool I find myself using almost every time now. Once we have all of the color flats done, we need to add an ambient color to the scene. In this one, I'm choosing a desaturated warm color with 50% of brightness, since this will mostly just have a white background. We turn the layer into multiply and we leave it there. This is the cool part for me. When I'm adding light, I like to think as if I was in the scene moving the lights. And generally when it comes to filming, they have like 3 light sources: the key light, the fill light, and the backlight. The key light, the main purpose is to add the brightest light to the character. It will give more volume to the character and will also help to set the mood of the scene. The fill light, as the name says, it will fill with light the shadow side of the character. And the backlight will give a rim light to separate the character from the background, and it tends to be the same color as either the key light or the fill light. So translating this into layers, I will have only one for each one except for the backlight. I prefer adding the rim light or backlight either in the same key light or fill light layer. So for this, I will create 2 layers painted all in black and then turn the layer mode into glow dodge. Since I already have the shadows done in a different layer, I will select the shadows layer by holding Ctrl or Command and tapping the shadow layer. Then I will go to the fill layer and I will create a mask. That way I'm only affecting the shadows when I'm adding the light. And then for the key light, we will select again the shadow layer, but this time we will invert the selection to only affect everything that is outside of the shadows. Now you can paint only in the illuminated side. Whenever we are adding light, we will just use black and white. We will not use any hue or saturation here in this layer. Usually the value of the brightness will be around 50% or 70%. Only go to 80% or above if you need to reach pure white. But most of the time you will just try to stick around 50 to 70% of brightness. There are 2 ways to make any element glow. I usually duplicate the flats of only the light source or elements that are going to glow. Then we will change the layer mode to hard light. And lastly, we will add a lens blur effect to create that soft glow around. Now that we have everything done, we can start playing around a little bit with the color of the light sources. For this, we will go to the key light and fill light layers and we will attach a new layer on top with the layer mode on color. Here's where I will paint with colors depending on the colors of the light source. In this case, I want to exaggerate the intensity of the light of their weapons, so I will color each one depending on their own respective colors. That way, each character has a specific color that represents them. And this should be the end result of the cover. Let me know in the comments if this tutorial was helpful, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one.